guys to a race breakdown video. This was the M City P12 Criterium, about 40 people. There were a lot of hitters though in the collegiate ranks, which is what I was racing in. The course was super dynamic. Let me walk you guys through a lap. Half of it was uphill and then the other half was downhill. This took place on the autonomous vehicle test track in Michigan, Ann Arbor. So super cool track, super cool place. The first corner was this little over 90-degree right-hander, almost a U-E, not quite. Then we keep climbing up into this next downhill section on the whole backside of the course. The teams to watch out for are Athletic Mentors. They had 4 riders. University of Michigan Ann Arbor had 5 riders. It was their home race. Then University of Wisconsin Platteville had 3 riders. They were really strong. And then Mad Track Racing had 5 riders. And then us on Team Purdue had 4 riders. My teammate Jonathan, of course, took home the dub in the AM race, and we're trying to get him to take the dub as well in this race. Continuing running through the course though, this is the next technical section, super windy and fast downhill. We're about to take 2 sharp right-handers where you really just didn't have to pedal at all, and I found myself coming up on the inside a lot with too much speed, which is something you'll see later on. It levels out right after the turn for a little bit, right before another U-turn. Now for this one, you have to be careful not to pedal strike, especially when we attack into this, because it is pretty sharp, especially if you try and take the perfect race line. As far as wind, you can see the arrows. It was a headwind on the start-finish straight and then a tailwind on the backside, which is what we have right now. It was also not an insignificant wind. It was like 10 to 15 miles an hour, if I recall. So you would definitely feel it, especially on the start-finish straight where a lot of tacks would fly. It would feel like you're going so slow. You'll see me bridging a gap in a couple laps, and yeah, I was doing 400 watts for not even going that fast. And I'm a small rider. I weigh 120 pounds. Start finish straight is a little more than 200 meters since the corner, so you have to be careful not to launch it too early. Like I said, it was also a headwind, so you have to be careful about that as well. Fast forward to 10 minutes in, I'm a little out of position. We're supposed to be counterattacking for the teammate Jonathan, so I'm just finding some easy places to move up. On this tailwind section, a lot of people were taking it super easy for some reason. As you saw, I just moved up like 5 places. They were doing 170 watts, which is crazy. And then it kicks up a little bit here every time as we go into the start-finish straight, which is a slight uphill drag. So I just wanted to make sure I was there to follow any attacks that came out. Like I said, we've got 4 people on Team Purdue, so we could really lean on the team tactics here of trying to be represented in every single move that we saw. There were a lot of strong riders, but we were definitely really confident in Jonathan taking home the field sprint. It doesn't play out that way though, so stay tuned. Next, this was I think a solo rider, but he was super strong. There is a small group off the front right now that we are trying to bring back. I was just following to see if he was going to attack, because I'd be happy to follow and try and bridge up or just slow down the move once I'm up there. But yeah, so we end up smashing absolutely. I'm not sure who's on the front right now. I think we're just trying to bridge to the group. It's kind of splintering everywhere. We're just about to catch them, and we are going super fast. As you can see, I mean, 400 watts, and we're only going like 25 miles an hour. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy strong headwind right here. Once we got him back, we do ease up a little bit though. Right on the right, Michigan sends an attack, and see we've got a rider chasing that already. So teamwork is doing super well. This little downhill, it was always so fast. It would always be single file, and if you get yourself locked in a good position, that's when you know you're at the front. Jonathan is smashing it, trying to get a little bit of a gap, I think, using his technical skills, which is always great. And I'm just following, making sure that nobody attacks over him, and I can follow if they do. Now, these are 2 Michigan riders. This was the team to watch out for. They got second in the AM race, so that was probably our biggest competition. And then I just decided to send an attack. There's a group off the front a little bit, so I'm just trying to bridge to them. I thought I had a good differential speed, that slingshot attack that everyone always talks about. That's what I just tried to do. Okay, fast forward a little bit. This is about a lap later. I'm finally in sight of the other group, except I'm kind of cooked, and this guy that I was trying to bridge to is also cooked and dropped. Unfortunately, I kind of end up in this pain dangle where I don't quite catch the group, but I'm not dropped yet. As you can see, I'm doing 400 plus watts, going 25 miles an hour. And remember, I'm 120 pounds, so 400 watts is like 8 watts per kilo. But yeah, so the group is still a little bit off the front, you can see, and I am just tasking myself with following every single move so it comes back together for Jonathan. This white space bikes rider, he was solo. He tries to attack over, but I just get right on his wheel to make sure it can't go. And then again right here, I'm just continuously following attacks. There was always this little group dangling off the front, nothing very threatening. But there was always a carrot to chase. If we ever let up for a second, then they would just get a super, super big gap. So we just catch this little group, and then Jonathan is sending it again off the front over here. Yeah, he was doing so much work, even though he's a sprinter. He's just so strong. He's levels above anybody else in this race. So yeah, now we are locking in the downhill. Like I said, this was very single file and a great place to recover. As you see, I'm doing 100 watts, coasting in some areas. It was super awesome, but we end up bringing him back, and now it all settles in again. At this point, I think we're about halfway through the race. But yeah, Jonathan follows another move, and then everybody kind of looks around. He gets caught though, and then the Michigan rider goes, and then Jonathan is right on there. So we are all, I think, going for a breakaway here, even though Jonathan's more of a sprinter, I would say. He just has a great 5-minute power, everything like that. Jonathan ends up getting caught again. The move that does go and end up winning the race, you'll see, goes in a little bit. Unfortunately, I didn't catch the end of the race due to my GoPro, so I don't have it. But long story short, Jonathan wins from the breakaway, of course. Nothing strange about that. We are just coming in. Everything's settling in. We are just doing our best to keep attacking, counterattacking. Right here, that's my teammate Colton, who's doing a great job. He's not the strongest, but he's really staying in there and helped with a lot of attacks, counterattacks. But I'm just slotting in the back to see if I can recover a little bit before trying to attack again. Letting go of a wheel is no big deal. Going through this little 270-degree turn. An attack flies. Mad Max Racing, I believe, they were sending a lot of attacks. They actually got, I think, 1 or 2 in the breakaway that ended up going, so they were surprisingly strong. But yeah, so I'm sure right now we don't have a rider in there, but I think one of us comes across eventually. But yeah, that one we weren't super worried because Michigan was also not represented in the race, so there really was no point in trying to chase. And then over here, yeah, so it's not really going anywhere, that exact move. But yeah, so this is kind of where my footage ends. Unfortunately, the GoPro died before the end of the race, but long story short, the breakaway went group of 6, and then I came, I believe, 4th in the field sprint for a total of 10th place, I think. So yeah, Jonathan, of course, won from the break. He attacked the break on the last lap and did a whole lap solo, and then just won with a huge gap. I tried to get a mini lead out from my teammate Colton, but it didn't work too great. We started a little early and then got overtaken pretty quickly, but still was able to get on the train that flew by me for 10th place. I got 5th the next day, which was a great result, and of course Jonathan won again. He is absolutely crazy. I hope to be that strong next year. But yeah, this was a great show of teamwork. I'm going to keep posting race recaps like this, so stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe. I'll catch everyone later.